this was a really good week.
It was.
Like, it's not, like, we read a lot of great comics on the show, but don't get me wrong. Some weeks, I'm just freaking impressed with the industry. There's a lot of naysayers out there, man, complaining about titles. You're just not reading enough or the right titles. I just said it.
That gets into my overall strategy, I guess, with picking comic books in the first place. Like, I think you really got to take a risk and step out and try something a little indie.
Yeah, or
get away from Batman.
Yeah, you know, like how you just said indie, because that's going to set us up to talk about something that's very not indie. We're talking about Moon Knight, baby.
Let's go.
Okay, first comic book that we got to chat with you about, that if it's not on your pull list, you need to add it to your pull list. If you've never, you know, taken the time to get into Moon Knight, this is made for you.
I was very glad when you told me that, by the way, because I thought you... For some reason, I figured you had a little more Moon Knight knowledge than I did. I don't. I don't know anything about Moon Knight.
I have a fair amount of knowledge. You know, I read the Lemire run, but that's pretty much it. Dude, shout out Octavio. Like, there's members of our show that are like diehard Moon Knight fans. They know the hell out of this particular superhero narrative. I am not someone who's as well versed. I needed this so damn bad. And this comic book is almost a one-shot every single issue, because this is made for people to get into Moon Knight, likely to prep you for the Oscar Isaac show next year.
Yes. And that's probably the main reason I ultimately decided to try this. I am making an effort to try more ongoing series for characters I'm either not really familiar with or that I don't even really like that much. But I've always been kind of drawn to Moon Knight. I've just never really taken the plunge, because I know that there's a lot of stuff going around in the periphery that's a little confusing.
Welcome to the Midnight Mission. My name is Mr. Knight. How can I help? Moon Knight.
This is the first page, right? First panel.
Yeah, this is the first panel, the first page rather. And this right here sets you up for what you're going to get. A good comic book will do that. And I will bring that back up here on the mic, so stay tuned. But we have the Moon God. We have Moon Knight looking like a freaking badass. And tell them about the Midnight Mission while I bring up our notes.
Please, bring up the notes. The Midnight Mission, I'm assuming this is a new development in the Moon Knight storyline, but he's basically
like Starters on Religion, dude.
He's decided to, it's kind of like I almost get like a YMCA kind of vibe from this place. Like, it's a place you can go, if you will.
Is that what, Kyle Fim, I gotta hear your thoughts in the comment section below. When you read Moon Knight, do you think of YMCA?
Do you think of the Village People?
Yeah, you know, hey, we're going to the Moon Knight. What would be the acronym for like the Moon Knight YMCA dance? If Moon Knight were to make a YMCA, it's like MOON. Everybody,
I need some coffee.
MOON. It's like, you know what I'm saying, Colin Fab? You feeling this? I feel like we have a song to make about Moon Knight. MOON. You see what I'm saying? It works.
It totally works.
N. I don't know. How do you make an N?
Are you dabbing?
I don't know. I'm trying to make an N. Like this? I don't know.
Like and subscribe. This is the content.
This is why you're here, comic fan.
Yeah, this is great.
Moon Knight. Okay, who wrote this? This is Jed McKay. And?
Artist is Alessandra Capicchio.
Okay. First off, writing of this book, perfect for anyone new reading Moon Knight. As mentioned, each issue, it's almost its own contained story with a thin thread carrying you through. How many issues are there? Because I only read like the first five.
5 just came out recently.
I read it. I'm caught up then.
You're caught up.
Oh man, because 5 was good, but I'm not even gonna get into it because the reveal in 5, I chatted about it on the trending video. Yeah, it's got me excited. It's like Dark Reign callbacks. Oh, so good. However,
I already forgot
the villain at the end. Sorry.
Well, it's Marvel Comics. I mean, there's always a surprise villain reveal at the end.
Okay, but we have in each issue, you're learning more and more about Moon Knight, why he's doing what he's doing. He is the fist of the moon god.
Right. The fist of Khonshu.
And you see that here in this one page spread, which is really setting you up. And aside from him saying, yeah, like, you know, join my mission, he's trying to protect the streets at night, he's basically Batman in the Marvel Universe. I know. You know what? That's probably why it deterred me from reading it for so long. I'm a big Batman fan. It's like, whatever. It's like, there's so many comics to read. However, this book is making me want to read other Moon Knight books.
This book almost kind of directly addresses the fact that Batman obviously has some mental issues, some unresolved things in his mind that DC has mostly veered away from or glossed over or just ignored.
Art. Oh my God. Okay, so here. Writing. Okay, each issue could be a standalone because you're finding out There's a situation that's going to be resolved. And aside from Moon Knight being the person in charge of keeping the streets clean at night, because, he's going by.
That's what the night means.
Exactly, Moon Knight.
They just spelled it wrong.
Exactly. We have a narrative that also switches back to a therapy session that the Avengers mandated.
Yeah, apparently he got into some trouble recently in the Avengers run that neither of us have read.
That's right, I haven't read that run. But yeah,
Tried to take over the world?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, he's, the moon god he worships is very stern. And if you follow it to a T, it ends up being a little bit too much. And this is him figuring out a balance between utilizing the power that he's been bestowed, because he's apparently been resurrected more than once. Can he die?
Comics.
Is a good question. Well, he doesn't know. He doesn't want to find out. But in the first issue, we see him go after some vampires. And this right here demonstrates Alessandra's amazing ability to draw with such precision. Holy smokes. This may be one of the slickest superhero designs in the Marvel Universe.
Moon Knight's just cool.
He is a badass, man. Like, I know his costume's white and doesn't really make sense that much.
Right.
But I don't care.
Yeah, also that. Also, I don't know how it swoops up like that when he's flying. Like, who cares?
Who cares, man?
How does it make that moon shape?
All right, so he's going after vampires in issue 1. I mean, look at this. Outstanding. That negative space. And yeah, he's going up against vampires in issue number 1. You don't really need to know more than that. We're not here to like spoil stuff for you, unless we gotta, because we're trying to get you to read this. If we're gonna be a little bit reserved, but you know what?
And I made that point to you earlier that I feel like Marvel is in a really kind of transitional period right now.
True.
Like they just wrapped up Immortal Hulk and like Venom, like runs that have been very popular and successful.
The
Daredevil
legendary
is
status
wrapping up soon.
Legendary status for both.
Yeah.
So we're starting something new. It's still fresh. It's brand new. We're in this transitional period.
And this is a 5th issue of a Moon Knight ongoing series. And I feel like this has the potential to kind of grow and be one of the premier Marvel books right now.
Completely agree. Something fun about Moon Knight, he hunts down these vampires and he's about to kill them. But what's happening is vampires are turning citizens, or not just citizens, just anybody who are on the street, into vampires so that they themselves can be recruited to go and turn more people into vampires.
It's like a vampire pyramid scheme. They make a big joke about that at the beginning. But
exactly. And Moon Knight, I like his attitude as it's less Punisher, It's more of a, until you do something bad, I'm going to leave you alone, even if you are a monster per se.
Right.
Butch, he's getting mad.
Butch is locked out of the room. He's been bad today.
He keeps jumping on the damn table. Okay, but Moon Knight, let's actually continue, because the therapy sessions are really where the explanations, his backstory is, the exposition typically would take place, but it's being communicated in these sessions that are mandated by the Avengers. I'm really enjoying that because you're getting a peek in his brain. You're seeing that he's a troubled person.
Reminds me of The Sopranos in the best possible way,
Absolutely.
which also had a lot of therapy scenes.
As mentioned, he goes through his origin story, former military, someone who really went the wrong direction, did a lot of harm, thinking he was doing good, needing to be reborn, being reborn as the superhero he would become. Or was he actually? I guess that's the whole part of Moon Knight. You don't really know.
The problem I've always had with this character is that he has several different personalities. He has dissociative identity disorder.
Or does he? Like, that's the thing. Some writers really lean heavily on it. Some don't. And I guess that's what's kind of deterred me from it, because it's like, I got to read all of it.
You're not just learning one character. You're learning one character who has at least 3, I think, distinct identities that he kind of changes or something. Like, I don't know.
Even Moon Knight fans don't care for that. Like, it's a polarizing thing.
It's a lot. It's a lot you're jumping into. And for me, it's always kind of steered me away.
Right.
But they don't really get into that much here at all, which I appreciate.
What they do get into is vampires. What they do get into is him getting a sidekick who also is a vampire. Reese is awesome in this comic.
It was one of the people from the van at the very beginning, which I
absolutely
completely missed.
What we also get is Hunter's Moon, the other fist of the moon god, who thinks that Moon Knight isn't doing his role good enough. He's not actually carrying out the moon god's wishes because the moon god is trapped in a prison in some cosmic narrative.
Comic books.
Doesn't matter, comic books. And we also see him go up against a bunch of old people. Yes,
Every now
comic
and then,
fam.
you got to fight old people, though.
Look at this. For real, comic fam. Look at this.
Ugh.
These are a bunch of elderly individuals. Okay. Of all the 5 issues, issue 2 is my favorite.
Okay.
And I'm going to spoil a little bit of issue 2 because this right here is a great example of why this book needs to be on your pull list. Issue 1's about vampires. Issue 2 is about crazy old people. You follow me so far, Ryan?
Yeah.
It's about a gentleman who can control you if you taste his sweat. Okay? That connection allows him to control you. Now, he wants to control a lot of people. So the best way to it's not easy to get people to taste your sweat. You're like, lick me.
I've tried.
Ryan tries a little oddly often to get me to taste his sweat.
Lick my armpit, Tom.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, dude, that sounds really weird. But then he's like, I'm Fire Guy Ryan. I'm sweaty.
I'll get someone to.
He's trying to control me, comic fam.
I am.
Okay? But what we find out is this particular character, the antagonist in issue 2, he goes to an old folks' home and he gets them to drink the water that he mixes his sweat into.
He's
which
like
is
the janitor or something at this old folks' home, and he just like poisons the water supply, and they're all suddenly, without knowing, his like his zombie slaves.
That's
kind
right.
of minions.
So Moon Knight is now in a position, he's about to get shot by this janitor where the janitor explains everything. He's like, yeah, they drink my sweat and I can control them. So Moon Knight says, oh, well, don't you want to control me? Here. And he licks, take a look at it right here. He takes the moon little, batarang.
That's what it is. Yeah.
He licks it. And he says, yo, do you want to control me? Like, who's going to pass up the ability to control Moon Knight? So we're going to see an antagonist, and we're going to see a glimpse of what's inside Moon Knight's mind, Marc Spector. This right here is why it's my favorite, because this scene gives you just a little taste, literally, about what is inside his head. It's madness. This gentleman, the janitor, who's an antagonist, starts being engulfed in just nightmare-ish
muck
blackness.
Yeah.
Right? Absence of light. Null. And as he tries to reach for the light,
which is a giant moon, of course.
Of course it's a giant moon. And by the way, look at the art, man.
It glows. Like, I don't know how they do this.
It's so damn, because there's more than one color here. It's like you have white, but you also have like this transitional white. And then they match the word balloons and the text within it.
The art is really cool and subtle at times, but this is a good looking book.
Mine is the title pull on the salt blood beating through your heart. Mine is the silver madness that illuminates but does not warm.
Ugh.
That's Moon Knight, yo. Moon Knight, it's like he's demonic in his brain. This dude he's got some burden.
He's gonna snap. I feel like at some point in an upcoming issue, something's gonna go. He's clearly containing this portion of his psyche right here, and at some point this is gonna crack, and he's gonna his well composed, buttoned down like therapy. The whole thing is gonna snap, and something's gonna happen. I got a bad feeling. Come
and worship. Hot damn, comic fam. This is bad stuff. This guy's definitely not wanting to have tasted Moon Knight's DNA, his spit,
The Moon Knight tastes his sweat.
Yeah, because Moon Knight licked it and gave it to him, and he touched it, and he licked it.
It's weird.
It's a weird thing. Okay,
don't exchange fluids.
Yeah, don't exchange fluids. It's not.
This is really a safe sex comic.
Yeah, actually, it's an analogy. Mm-hmm. All right, there you go. So what we're left with is the antagonist.
I love this look for him too, just the suit.
It's kind of like you're seeing two different versions of Moon Knight, which is awesome because Moon Knight has definitely different costumes. And look at the bottom of this. We see what happens when you get a peek inside the brain. All he can say is moon, moon, moon.
Yeah.
I call that a damn good comic book, comic fam. Damn good.
Scrambled his brains.
Oh, hot damn. Put Moon Knight on your pull list. You will not be disappointed.
I haven't been yet, and I look for disappointment every day.